Welcome all my finalists. I'm back doing another finals update video. Season 3 just dropped yesterday. A little late on this one, but conflicting schedules. So let's get right into this. I'm really excited for this season. It looks really fantastic. They dropped the Join the World Tour this season. Fame, fortune, and glory. This is where all the contestants gather to reach for stardom. In the World Tour, you'll compete to climb the ladder from bronze to gold and beyond. Season 3 will focus on cash-out tournaments of 24 players in 2 to 3 week tournament cycles. The top 5 players will be on the front page of the World Tour, so check the leaderboard often. We'll kick off the season with the Ngimo Open, the first stop on the World Tour. This event features traditional cash-out across 3 maps, including the new Kyoto 5068 Arena. The World Tour is your oyster, contestants. How will you open it? And bringing along with that is the Kyoto 1568 map. It's an arena features a network of interwoven 16th century temples, gardens, and dense bamboo forests, intense terrain, height variation, and layered buildings with hidden traversal options underneath await you in your newest and perhaps most picturesque map location. Traditional Japanese shoji paper walls that appear can shoot, and tall intricate structures ramp up the destruction. And I've seen the trailer and some gameplay footage of it, and it looks absolutely beautiful. They always do great maps. I love the map layouts, and just the aesthetics of them are beautiful. For ranked tournament this season, we've got Terminal Attack. I'm really not sure how I feel about that one. I'm not that great in ranked anyways, but I don't know if Terminal Attack was the right choice for this. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we're going to get into that and see how that feels. I may change my mind, but I don't know. The Battle Pass, again, yeah, I did get a look at the Battle Pass. It looks absolutely cool. Totally love the Samurai Power Ranger skin. Can't wait to get that one unlocked. And they also brought us 3 new weapons for this season. The recurve bow for the light. That looks a lot of fun to play with. The dual blades for the medium. I'm really excited for this. Seen in the trailer footage, almost kind of a Matrix Deadpool style bullet deflection blocking option. So that's going to be interesting to see how the mechanics of that one work. And the spear for the heavy. This also looks really fun to play with. I don't particularly play with heavy too often. I'm more of a light medium guy. So gonna get into heavy because I want to see how that plays. And we also got 2 new tools that dropped this season too. The thermal bore for the lights, which is a long-range, high-cooldown tactical breaching gadget that's best used to breach walls, buildings, and other obstacles from a distance to open up pathways or sightlines for you and your team. Perfect in combination for a long-range weapon. Kind of interested to see how this is going to change the meta of the lights. I foresee us having a lot of thermal bore and LH1 setups. My favorite that they've dropped so far for this season is the winch claw, the scorpion style get over here kind of yeah, melee weapon. I'm really interested to see how the mechanics of this one work as well. A new specialization for heavies. It launches a chain that pulls objects or enemies towards you, briefly stunning them, making it a perfect companion to the new spear. Requires tactical use, accuracy, and skill. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I cannot wait to dive into this season. I think this season's gonna get kind of out of hand in a really fun way, but we'll see how that goes. We also have the career circuit as we did last season. I really liked last season's rewards. I can't wait to see what they drop for this one. Looks like something with a bow. What is that one? That's what I'm interested to see. That almost looks like the last season's glitch skin kind of thing. And now getting into the balance changes. Looks like they brought some health regen changes to this one. Decreased the health regen delay from 10 to 7 seconds on both light and medium, which means that health will start to regenerate sooner, but it does not apply in the terminal attack game mode for either of these builds. The dev note here is the dynamics of terminal attack mode with its limited health regen up to 100 HP means that the light archetype with their precise and high DPS weapons can be very effective later in rounds. For that reason, we've chosen not to extend these new health regen rules to terminal attack for now. We'll monitor these changes closely as the season develops and adjust where needed. And it seems like same thing with again with the medium. They've also, Healing Beam has been replaced with the Guardian Turret as the default medium specialization, as well as the Defibrillator being replaced with the Glitch Trap. And for the dev note here, is reason being is that we want to make sure new players have a loadout that works in all modes, and healing focus items are still available, so you can still select them as your default if you want. But new players logging in are going to get the Glitch Trap and the Guardian Turret as defaults. Which I can see that. I guess I understand that. Not everybody wants to come in and be a healer. And that seems like, I think, a more suitable loadout for new player mediums than the defib and the healing beam. The goo gun is also getting a change. Getting hit by a goo will now block movement specializations, such as, it looks like, just the evasive dash. Charge and slam is not affected by that. The winch claw decreased the max range from 20 to 17 meters, increased the cooldown when missing targets from 6 to 7, when hitting carryables or teammates' statues from 6 to 7, and when hitting players, cash out stations, or terminals from 12 to 14. The gadgets on the breach charge increased ammo count from 1 to 2, increased the cooldown while from 15 to 26. That's a big jump. And decreased player damage from 200 to 80. That I'm glad for, because I hate getting one-shotted by those things. But it's the argument. I love doing it myself, but hate having it done to me. But I like that. That's a good change. The data reshaper, we get 1 to 2 ammo count increase, and again increase the cooldown from 15 to 26 seconds. The gas grenade has had its radius increased to 5 meters from 4.5. The glitch trap has had a total item rework. It's no longer a proximity detonation device. It now has a line of sight application, and if an enemy player stands within range and in line of sight to the trap, it will attach a tether to them. Tethered players have the glitch effect applied to them, preventing them from using specializations and gadgets and disrupting their HUD. Players will need to break the line of sight to the trap, destroy it, or get out of range of it to remove the effect. The goo grenade has had the size increased of the goo wall from 2x4 to 2x6. Getting hit by goo, again, will now block evasive dash. Oh, and grapple hook. Okay. The Guardian Turret, the cooldown regeneration on the Guardian Turret now starts when the turret is destroyed, not when it is deployed. Added the ability for players to remotely destroy their Guardian Turret, allowing them to trigger the cooldown if their turret is not nearby. This is done by equipping the specialization again and holding an interaction for a brief duration. And from what I've also come to understand is that the Guardian Turret has also changed in that way that when you pick it back up, I think it still does retain the damage, so we can't like spam Guardian Turrets anymore. Again, as a medium user, that's actually a change I like. I don't like even other mediums. Like, you can get a good team of mediums and they can just set up turrets everywhere and kind of lock down a spot. And I've done it myself where, like, when the health is getting low, you just pick it up and redeploy it, and you got a brand new turret, just kind of giving you this unlimited, even with the timer, like this almost unlimited ability to have the Guardian Turret active as long as you catch it before it's destroyed. And I'm glad that that's been brought in to kind of change the way that works. Again, changes the dynamic of how us mediums are going to kind of hold down points. The motion sensor is also getting a total item rework. The motion sensor no longer sends out impulses at regular intervals for detection. Now has a line of sight application. If an enemy player stands within range and in line of sight to the device, the sensor will attach a tether to them. So it's the same thing as with the glitch trap. So you have to break the line of sight, which, I mean, again, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, making the motion sensor more of a motion sensor as far as like an active radar, if that makes sense. So yeah, I see why they did it, to make the motion sensor a motion sensor, but yeah, I guess I really don't have anything to say on that. Yeah, I guess they're just making it more of a motion sensor, but we'll see how that plays out. Smoke grenade has had a ammo count increase from 2 to 3, and the cooldown from 45 to 50, but the density of the smoke has also changed as well. So looking forward to see how that helps kind of cover areas, because I love using my smoke grenades. The sonar grenade has had the detection radius increased from 10 to 15 meters. The stun gun is now unable to use specializations when the glitch status is applied. So does it? I think they mean the stun status. Yeah, I don't think they mean the glitch. I think they mean the stun status, which again, that's good. I don't think you should be able to kind of power out of that with your specialization. Now we got some of the weapons updates as well. Let's see, the 93R has an updated recoil pattern, making the weapon much easier to control and hopefully making headshots easier to achieve. To increase the viability for the 93R, we've made it considerably more precise, but lowered the DPS slightly to offset that. Our aim is to make the weapon more effective when using precise aim and going for headshots, and we'll continue to monitor its performance following these changes. Decreased the fire rate from 260 to 210, decreased automatic recoil recovery duration from 0.72 seconds to 0.7, making the weapon easier to control. Increase the damage fall-off start distance from 15 to 23 meters, meaning the weapon will do max damage at longer ranges now. Increase the damage fall-off max distance from 22 to 35 meters, increasing the range before damage fall-off is fully applied. Decreased the damage fall-off multiplier at max range from 65% to 45%, meaning the weapon will do less damage at longer ranges now. CL40 decreased the damage from 110 to 93, increased the fire rate from 250 to 275 RPM, decreased pump action duration from 0.7 to 0.65 seconds, decreased self-damage multiplier from 1 to 0.75, reducing how much damage the grenades do to the player using them. The FAMAS has decreased automatic recoil recovery duration from 1 to 0.8 seconds, making the weapon easier to control. Decrease the delay before recoil recovery begins from 0.8 to 0.7 seconds, making the weapon easier to control. Increased damage from 23 to 24. So it seems like they're trying to tighten up the burst pattern jump, hopefully making it a little bit, making that jump a little bit less each bullet, making it a little bit easier to control, I think is what kind of they're going for on that one. The KS-23 has decreased pump action duration from 0.7 to 0.575 seconds. The Lewis gun, in here, further updated recoil pattern, making the weapon easier to control for the first few bullets in the sequence, but making the weapon recoil more the longer the trigger is held. Oh, okay, so it's going to be easier to burst fire. It's going to jump harder as the round or as the ammo decreases. Decrease the damage from 25 to 22. Updated, the LH1 updated firing animation, which should make the weapon easier to use. Decreased the fire rate from 300 to 280 RPM. Decreased bullet dispersion when crouching and standing still, making the weapon more precise. And increased player damage from 49 to 52. Overall, the effective damage of the LH1 should remain roughly the same, but it should now be easier to use, less nauseating, and more precise when standing still, as well as incentivizing headshots. The lower RPM should help make it feel distinct and make it easier to maintain targets in sight. The M60 has an updated recoil pattern as well, making the weapon recoil more during the first few bullets, but making it easier to control for the rest of the sequence. Oh, so it's going to be the exact opposite of the M60. The recoil is going to be harder at the start of the mag, and as you get further down, it's going to have less recoil, so it stabilizes the longer you hold it. The maintain fire. Decreased damage from 22 to 19. The SH1900 has its increased damage from 10 to 13 per pellet, decreased the fire rate from 100 to 80 RPM, and increased the size of the pellet dispersion pattern, making the weapon less accurate at range. So you can snipe shot with a shotgun a little bit less. We wanted for a while to make the SH1900 more effective against heavies without making it oppressive for lights. With higher pellet dispersion, the SH1900 is now optimized for very close range only, which has allowed us to buff the damage, hopefully making heavies easier to kill This is a change we will be monitoring closely to measure its impact. The sledgehammer has updated camera animation when sprinting, which should reduce motion sickness for some players. Throwing knives, always the bread and butter of most lights that kick my butt most of the time. Decreased projectile speed of primary attacks from 16.5 to 14.75 milliseconds, and decreased projectile air drag of primary attacks from 7.5 to 7, allowing the projectile to travel farther. Increased projectile speed of secondary attacks from 13.8 to 18.5 milliseconds, and increased projectile air drag of the second attack from 4 to 5.5, increasing the speed at which the projectile slows down. So the first shot's more accurate, the second shot has a lot less or a lot more drop to it. Our last balance changes on the throwing knives pushed them in the right direction, but ultimately felt too powerful, changing this weapon's character too much. We have here dialed down the velocity of the regular projectiles so that leading your throws becomes a requirement again, but not to the same extent as before the last changes. Similarly, we sped up the secondary projectiles so that they become a more long-range option with a focus on timing rather than leading. Oh, I had that backwards. Okay, I had that backwards. So the first shot drops more. You got to lead more. The second shot is more of the precision snipe. It's like the finish out shot. V9S has increased the damage from 36 to 37. The carryables, glitch barrel, decreased radius from 6 meters to 3.5. The goo barrel decreased the size of the goo wall created. Okay, so same thing. Decreased. Duh, stupid. 2.6. So they made the goo grenade bigger, the goo barrel smaller. Gotcha. Toxic gas barrel decreased radius from 5 meters to 3.5 meters. Overall, we've seen a low use of certain gadgets when there are overlapping items available in the arena. Therefore, we are swapping some values around on arena items and gadgets to ensure the latter have a stronger effect while still ensuring players can adapt to different situations even when out of gadget charges. Game mode, terminal attack. Players must now interact with the terminal in order to deliver the decryption key rather than throwing it into the terminal. It was too easy for attacking teams to rush a terminal and throw in the key to start a decryption without needing to secure the objective first. This change should force attacking teams to seize the area around the terminal to start decrypting. To increase the throw distance of the decryption key now that it cannot be thrown into the terminal, allowing for more passing of the key. Added warm-up zones to terminal attack, limiting where players can move to for the first 25 seconds of the match. This provides more time for the defending team to prepare. Carryable canisters now respawn at the start of each round of terminal attack, making sure each team gets access to the same amount each round. The specific combinations of team and objective spawn locations and ranked terminal attack now occur in the same sequence in both halves of the match, making matches fair. Added unique names to all terminal locations in the areas. These are displayed when looking at the terminals and in the lobby screen. Added a player count notification when contestants are eliminated. Added icons in the arena and to the HUD to highlight eliminated teammates and their location. Nice. Added ranked terminal attack mode with a best of 13 first to 7 format. In ranked terminal attack, if the match starts without full teams, the game will be automatically abandoned early and players will return to the queue. This is done to ensure games start in a good condition. Right. That would make sense, I guess, because I think we've all had that happen where you get into a terminal attack and it's like 4-on-5, at least for like the first moment or two. So I'm glad that they're making balance changes also in that direction, kind of keeping the matchmaking level, without adding the SBMM, EBMM garbage. Added a halftime reset of destruction to ranked terminal attack mode so that both teams have the same starting conditions as their opponents when defending or attacking. So that means I think every round the destruction resets, or the map resets. For the map changes, we've got Las Vegas, updated terminal attack spawn scenarios, also for Monaco, Skyway Stadium, but they also tweaked the power shift related spawn points inside the construction area so that the players are better oriented towards the platform's path. Says Horizon, same thing, spawn scenarios. For the content and bug fixes, left arm gestures, bullets kept the mesh when reloading. First throw animation on gateway sometimes didn't play properly. Fixed an issue where an immediate melee attack was not properly displayed after using a mesh shield. Fixed an issue where your contestant was not centered during the tunnel run match intro. Fixed an issue where melee animations were sometimes not shown when exiting the emote camera. Visual error melee times were not affected by this bug. Audience has been reworked and will now be more responsive to various events in the arena and cheer for the contestants. Career rank added 10 new career ranks with associated rewards. Fire propagation added a distance limit to all fire sources to prevent fire from spreading infinitely. Okay, I got you. That's when you set fire to something in the map, the trees and whatnot. It doesn't just infinitely spread. That's good. I do like that. That's cool. Gameplay made it possible to skip the elimination camera after a short while and go directly to spectating teammates. Game modes added a dedicated spectator slot to private matches. Updated available game modes, terminal attack, base game mode, added terminal attack ranked, terminal attack tutorial, world tour mode, removed single round cash out, added more info to the game summary screen for team name and game mode, disabled the deathmatch game show event as it was not working as intended. We got the new Kyoto map, so it's available in Quick Cash, Tournaments, Bank It, Power Shift, and Terminal Attack game modes. Features shallow water that will slow the player's movement speed, making it risky to cross large open bodies of water. Shoji paper walls that allow bullets to pass through easily. For the settings, we got a new volume slider in the settings for changing the commentator dialogue volume separately from the in-world dialogue. Enabled single item purchases for bundles from previous seasons. Let's see, UI text chat added to the PC version. That's awesome. I'm glad they finally added that. I think all of us have been asking for that for a while because not everybody wants to play with a mic and not everybody has a mic. So really glad they added text chat. For the player cards, they added background customization, added badges that display your rank in World Tour and Ranked mode, updated the end of round screen to include player cards and to highlight stats, added a shortcut button to the play menu from the career screen, added a cooldown for the event log when spamming pings and voice lines, updated event log messages for various types of pings, cash outs and terminal be consistent and always include information about which objective was pinged, added missing event log messages for certain pings on various objects, attacking here ping wheel action was renamed to attack here, same with defend here, updated attack here and defend here event log messages to match character voice lines, added event log messages when pinging zip lines. It's now possible to zoom in on pets in the battle pass and store screens. Temporary disabled the re-rolling of daily contracts. We currently have a very small pool of daily contracts and felt it was unfair for players to spend VRs to re-roll a contract to only keep getting limited options in return. We hope to introduce more contracts during the season and then re-enable re-rolls at some point when they offer more value. And I love that. And that note right there should kind of just tell you what this game and its community is really honestly about, because they made a change because it was unfair to us as players. It wasn't anything drastic, it wasn't anything big, it wasn't anything game breaking, but even just something that little and that simple that they thought of it in that way, that it was just wasn't unfair, or was unfair to us as players, to waste money basically to re-roll garbage. So like that just goes to show you this the type of community that they've tried to build and that they've created with the finals. And this is why no matter what, I will always love this game as long as they don't go, batshit crazy with it, do something stupid and crazy, dumb. So, but they always seem to kind of work things, we're making it more fair for the players, and at least they're not introducing some kind of pay to win aspect for this. For the weapons, they added 3 new items. We went through that with the dual blaze, recurve, spear, winch claw, thermal bow. Updated several equipment HUD icons, all grenades and mines, C4 breach charge, APS turret barricade, motion sensor, thermal vision, and riot shield. Added 1 more progression level with associated reward for all weapons and gadgets. All item-based specializations also received this, so giving us some more skins, I would imagine. Fixed an issue where equipped charms would disappear when standing close to walls. Fixed an emote animation exploit with the sword. While these moves discovered by the players increase the effectiveness of some melee weapons, they are ultimately exploits and ones that most players find hard to use or unintuitive, adding confusion to the game, especially for those on the receiving end. Since there's been many changes to melee recently, we believe the viability of melee has been increased and that the exploits shouldn't be needed to compete. But we'll continue to monitor how the meta develops during Season 3, and we will be listening closely to your feedback. See? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I think we all appreciate it. I think those of us who are fans of the finals, I think this is why we're such devoted fans to this game, is because of how the devs actually treat us and their community. And for the security updates, last and actually least, updates to our aimbot detection system, the in-game reporting feedback. Now they'll inform players who report unfair gameplay when appropriate actions have been taken. I like that feature, because that's basically if you feel like you've found a hacker and you report a hacker, and if I'm reading this correctly, so if something does come out of it and they find that they were breaking TOS, that you'll be notified that they were caught. And again, I hope this isn't used as like a tool against them. I really hope that players and streamers and content creators, I really hope they don't use these as memes for I guess like Call of Shame, and which they're not a meme, but like how Call of Shame does, just to call out cheaters. I really hope somebody doesn't do that, because that I just feel like that would be kind of just a nasty way to treat that feature. But that looks like that's it for the update. I cannot wait to get into this. I'll be diving into this later on tonight when I get off work. Really excited to see what the new content brought, how the game feels. I have been away for the last probably 2 weeks playing X Defiant pretty heavily, getting a game review ready for that as well. So that's it for this update. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're most excited about for this season, if you're excited for it at all. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a good day.